Alright fellas, welcome back. Today's video is going to be about a brand new watch I'm so excited about. It is from Timex. And so it's the new MK1 mechanical movement, and to me this is just a perfect dream watch. Literally something that I've been hoping that Timex was going to make for a few years now, and they finally did it, and I snagged one right before they sold out. So we'll get into that in just a second. But I also wanted to pop on this one. This one I also got this week. I actually bought this on eBay for 170 bucks. This is their Navy Harbor, which I first saw on TGV, the Urban Gentry. I first saw this on his channel a couple years back and fell in love with it just because it has no date, and it's a perfect size. And to me, the thing that I really want to commend Timex for, and make the point before we even get into the video, is that what I love about Timex as a brand is that they really listen to the community, and I think that's so important. Honestly, for any brand, if you guys work with brands or in business or anything like that, it's so important, in my opinion, to look at your customer base and see what they're talking about. So I think I said in the last video, if you have to read the Reddit posts, and in the watch community, I know guys are after smaller watches in general and stuff with no date. And so for me, Timex is definitely paying attention and looking at what the community is saying, and that's why I'm such a big fan of the brand. I have like over 10 watches so far, but for now, let's get into the brand new MK1. Okay, so the MK1 right here is a field-inspired watch, and so for me, the classic field watch from anybody's standards is the Hamilton Khaki. So I'm sure most of you guys, if you're watch guys, know the Hamilton Khaki. It's big in the rugged community also, the heritage community, and it's an American brand, Hamilton. And right now you can get their hand-wind mechanical watch for like 320 bucks. I just checked on Joma Shop, and I think it's a little bit more for the automatic version. But so to me, this is definitely a great challenger to that watch, which, listen, that's a watch that I really want, but I also think that, like, 320 bucks for a hand-wound watch is like a little bit pricey, especially because you can go on eBay and buy pre-owned ones or vintage ones for a fraction of that price. So to me, when I saw Timex release their MK1 a couple of years ago, I was like, yo, if they made this in a mechanical movement, I would be on it right away. So really randomly, my photographer Davey, who's editing this video, shout out to Davey, so he sent me a DM from his own account. He said, yo, check out this watch that Timex just released. And I was like, holy crap, that's literally what I've been waiting for. So to me, it's that hand-wound watch. It's got a classic, really easy to read military dial in a really great, versatile green color. That army green color is just perfect. And so let's get into the specs. Right, so it comes on a fabric strap, a canvas strap, and what's interesting about this is that it's not a NATO strap. It doesn't go through. It's actually quick release straps, so you can just pop them off and on, which I think is actually really great, because one downside of NATO straps is that they do add a bit of height to the watch because you're getting that fabric underneath. So I really like that they have this quick release strap on there, and Timex actually does a great job with their straps. All their straps are really killer, especially the ones that they collab with Red Wing, the SB Foot Tannery. In Red Wing, Minnesota. They make some amazing straps, and so this one I think is great also, and the fact that you can just easily swap this strap out for something else like a leather is great. Now the case itself is 36mm. To me, that's perfect, just amazing. Like I said, this watch, the Navy Harbor, is 38mm. That's why I wanted it so much, because I like small watches. You can see this video even. Like, this doesn't look big at all. To me, it just looks really proportionate to my wrist size, and so 36mm is even better. The case itself is made out of stainless steel, has a nice weight to it. I was actually a little bit surprised. I thought it was going to be a little thinner, a little lighter, especially because the cases of the classic MK1s that they make, the quartz movement MK1s, are not stainless steel, I don't think, usually. So this one has a nice weight to it. The finishing looks really great. It's just brushed all around. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'll show some B-roll. And the dial itself has 1 to 12, and then it's got the army time also, 13 to 24. That's pretty standard. The hands are also very basic, nothing crazy, super easy to read. They have a little bit of loom, and I love that the second hand has that lollipop on the end. So it's got that, just a circle on the end of it. To me, just a little bit of pop-up color. It also lights up in the dark. Now the loom itself, they just have dots around the dial on the numbers. Nothing crazy. I'm not a loom guy. I think a lot of people put a lot of emphasis on loom. I just think it's usually very impractical when I'm in bed anyway. I'm not wearing my watch. I put it on my nightstand. To me, loom is not a big deal, but this one, I guess if that's something that you are considering, the loom is not great. It doesn't really last that long either. When I come from outside, when I was taking photos earlier, it was very bright for like, a few minutes maybe, and then that's it. So loom is not great. Another thing I love is that they just kept it really basic. There's no extra lettering or words or anything like that. It just says mechanical on the bottom. very clean, and the Timex logo, again, super simple, just like Arial font, nothing fancy at all. And again, this is like a tool watch because it's hand wind and it's a military watch. So I do appreciate them just being very clean and minimalist. Something that really pops about the watch is the domed crystal. So hopefully you guys can see that. I did try to take some videos of this, but it's acrylic, so it's not sapphire. It's not sapphire, which is used in a lot of higher end watches because it's anti-reflective a lot of times, and also it's super hard, so it's not going to scratch easily. So I do have a problem with using mineral glass in general, but I think with watches you can really get the glass replaced pretty easily if you really want to. So it's not a huge deal, but I do love that it just gives it a really vintage aesthetic to have that domed glass on there. And to be honest with you, I'm going to scuff it up and not really worry about it too much. So if I ever do want to replace it, if I scuff it up so much that I need to replace it, I would just go for sapphire glass and see if I can get someone to replace it with sapphire glass. And last but not least, something really cool they added that I didn't see on the last MK1s is that they've got this cool case back that just shows, you know, a little bit of the Timex, the details, stainless steel case, that kind of stuff, water resistance, just a nice little detail. And the last thing I forgot to mention, I'll just throw that in, is that it actually is really thin. I don't have the exact measurements, but it seems to me around 10 millimeters. And just remember that it has that domed crystal, so that does take up a lot of real estate also. But it just fits beautifully on the wrist. And to me, it's really something that I jumped on. And now let's talk about the overall value. If I'm going to give it a grade, the grade would be A+, because it's $185, the retail, which is even cheaper than the Marlins, and to me this is a much more desirable watch. It's a lot more versatile. You can you can wear this with pretty much anything except for like a suit, but like business casual, anything. It's really basic. The size, like I said, is great. Just love the 36 millimeter, the stainless steel case. They just nailed everything. It really wasn't like something that needed so much thought to design and so much attention to detail. It was like they already had the MK1. It's a really killer design. Everybody loves it, and it's like just pop in a mechanical movement for those guys who like a little bit more of mechanical engineering with their watches, and you got a winner. So to me, it was something that was a long time in the making. I love that they did that. They even made it small in the MK1. I think the quartz MK1s are like 38 millimeters, or they make like a 40. So to me, going down to 36 was just incredible. I love that, to me, that they're listening to the community. They're listening to what guys want. And yeah, so for $185, I think it was a really easy pickup. And what's even better is that if you guys sign up for the email, so what I did was I signed up for their email list, and you get a 15% off coupon, and boom, right away I got 15% off. It was like $155 or something like that. So really just excellent deal. It happens to be, I even felt better about buying this watch because right after I bought it, like the next day I checked to see, I was really curious to see if it sold out, how it was selling, and it sold out literally the next day. Just really glad to have it. To me, it's like really an essential watch for the collection. I'm super happy to have it. Hopefully I have it for a very long time. Now I've got 2 watches on. Thanks so much for watching, guys. As always, subscribe, like this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.